So my next story is how I learned about racism. So I had come to a very small college in Rochester, Minnesota. So it did not have a lot of Africans or maybe black people. So I had been befriended by this Caucasian white girl. She is really nice. Oh my god, her name is Jenna. We are still friends now, like about so long ago. So she was so good to me. She used to invite me to go to her house. She used to take me weekends to go, like weekends people would go to their parents and I would just stay, you know, in the dorms. But she always invited me to take me to her parents over the weekend. And she took me places. I didn't have a car. And she would always say, hey, come on, let's go to the mall. Hey, come on, let me take you here. Hey, come on, let's do this. So she embraced me. She's such a nice lady. Anyway, so this one time she told me, let's go to the mall. So we went to the mall and we went to this store. And me, I'm just there looking at clothes, right? And her, she's also looking at clothes. And then this cashier, white woman, came standing at my back. So me, I didn't bother. I wasn't even aware. I didn't bother. I'm like, okay, maybe she's standing to answer questions, or she's standing to see whether I need help. And you know, sometimes in Kenya, in stores, that's how it is. You know, you have a cashier or an employee of a store standing around to be available to answer questions. Or sometimes, you know, I don't know, whatever reason. So she stood there, but I didn't pay attention because I was so into looking into the clothes. So anyway, I don't think we bought anything there. We just looked around and then we left. So when I got into the car with my friend Jenna, she asked me, she was like, do you know why the employee of that store was standing behind you and not behind me? Do you know why? No, she said, do you know why they were following you in the store and not me? I was like, no, I didn't notice why. She's like, because you're black. So it didn't even register. I'm like, because I'm black? So she knew how naive and how I had no idea about the system, how it works. And you know, I had not experienced racism. You know, I didn't know how racism is manifested in the US. So anyway, so Akanuliza, do you know why they were doing that? I'm like, no, it's like, oh, because you're black. And then she started explaining to me, she's like, they thought you were going to steal. So they think black people steal from the stores. That's why they were following you. So that was my first experience, unknowingly, my first racism experience unknowingly. Like I wasn't aware somebody was treating me different, but this white friend of mine was explaining to me. So I came to America and I roomed with white students. All of them, all my roommates were white, and they were the ones telling me racial stories I didn't even know. So my other story was around the same time. It was my first semester in college. So even after Jenna, my friend, had told me that, it didn't register. I was like, okay, it didn't hurt me as much, but it kind of like opened my eyes. So my innocence kind of like was taken kidogo. Like, okay, that's how they do it. Alrighty, so my next thing is, so since I was rooming with these white students who, you know, they were my dormmates, some of them were really nice. So one of them told me, because they had seen Jenna, and then another one had taken me Squingine to their parents' home during the weekend too. People go home during the weekend because they didn't come from far, and they have cars and I don't have any. So anyway, so one of them asked me, not asked me, told me, hey, I really would like to take you home over the weekend, but I don't want to because my grandmother lives with my parents and my grandmother uses the N-word. Then I asked her, I was like, what is the N-word? Then she told me in full, and then she's like, it is a derogatory term used for black people. Oh my God, guys, I did not know the N-word. I did not know. I just wanted to show my face when I'm telling you all these innocent stories. I did not know what that meant. So that was part of my education. So she didn't take me because she didn't want me to experience, you know, she didn't want me to experience that. She didn't want me to have that kind of experience, and I appreciated that. So those are like additional stories. Then one day, okay, so this is another one. So within that, after that 1 year in that small college, I transferred to a bigger city. I transferred to Minneapolis, which is bigger than Rochester. Rochester has grown now, but it's bigger compared. So I transferred, and one time I was crossing the road, and a car passed by so quickly, and this man rolled the windows down and showed me the middle finger, and then called me the N-word. Oh my God, now I was like, oh my God, now that one I felt, I don't know why, I really felt it. I was like, I'm just crossing the road, somebody is just, now I knew what the N-word was, and somebody is just calling me the N-word. I felt so hurt. So that was one of my first direct experiences, somebody, you know, being racial on me. If I remember another story, I'll tell you.